So what does it actually take to make your first 100K or even £1 million online? Well, today I'm going to give you the exact strategy that your favorite YouTuber has used to make millions online and has used to grow their business from, a small done-for-you model all the way up to a coaching company. And I wish someone would have shared this with me back in the day, because I would have had a clear-cut path and known how to get to $1 million a lot quicker. But I'm going to share it with you guys today and give you some clarity on how you can grow your company and how you can start from scratch and build your way up and even hit them smaller milestones like making 10K a month, then making your first 100K, and then even onto your first million, and using the exact strategy that all these guys you see on YouTube are using. I'm going to share with you guys. So let's get straight to it. And the first thing I wanted to say about this strategy as well is it does not matter which vehicle you use to get there. So if you're doing drop shipping, you're doing e-commerce, you're doing SMA, it does not matter. This strategy will always be the same, because in order to grow, in order to hit them 100Ks, scale a company from just doing a few £1,000s a month to actually doing crazy numbers, then you need to have leverage. And the only way you can get leverage is by creating value in other people's lives, which I'm going to show you exactly how to do. So the way I like to look at business is very much similar to how you would imagine Charles Darwin looks at evolution. So if we use the metaphor of, Charles Darwin's version of evolution, so you imagine now this is you, you're this little, you're this little Neanderthal, here, and you're doing your one-on-one done-for-you services. So done for you. So at this point, if you're watching this, then you probably have your own company or you're trying to start, but even it doesn't matter if you haven't got it already, this is where you're going to start. It's going to be done for you. So this is going to be doing stuff like you might be running an agency, you might be running Facebook ads for people, but you are actually delivering that service as someone else. So your time is kind of directly related to the value that can be created through that service. But then let's say you evolve a little bit more. So, we go up to this and now you've evolved a little bit more here. So you're a little bit more evolved. Maybe you've got some web feet. So you're, I know that doesn't exactly make sense, but at this point, it's now done with you. So, at this point, say for example, with my company. So I've got a trading company. I originally started in the trading industry being a trader, and then I realized that, in order to actually make more money than what I do just with trading or create another income, I need to teach other people how to do this as well, because how you get richer and how you create more value and how you make more money and grow a business is by creating value in other people's lives. And the only way to do that is to help other people with that skill as well and help them make money. So at this point, you could be doing sort of £50, coaching calls. You could be doing, £1,000 membership a year, group calls, something like that along them lines. But essentially, you're going to be doing a little bit of the work and the client's going to be doing the other part of the work. And let's say you evolve, a little bit more. And now this model is going to be group coaching. So all you guys you'll see on YouTube have some sort of like a mastermind group or something like this. And these are so important. Ones I've been to myself and listened to online, they're absolutely goldmine for this. But what you can do here, so instead of you might be teaching, one or two people here on, Zoom, or maybe it's in person, you're meeting them and teaching them. But you're still sort of tied to how much time you can do, because you can only meet one person at a time and you can only charge sort of per customer. But now once you evolve a little bit more and you move to group coaching, you can now leverage your time to a much greater extent. So for example, in that 1 hour where you'd only be able to see one client, you've now got 10 people sitting in the same hour. So you might be giving a talk to 10 people. So you've now 10x'd your leverage and how much you can potentially earn at this point. And then comes the next stage of evolution. So this is like, the final stage, and this is where all your YouTubers and stuff are pretty much at now. And that is online coaching. Why this is like the golden, like the god point of, online world of making money online is because it's infinitely scalable. So, I think that's terrible spelling. I don't think I've even spelled that right. But it's infinitely scalable because you can make this once, so you'll never run out of inventory of it, and you can sell it multiple times over again. So your time is not tied to this product anymore. So you can be asleep and still be making course sales. So, this is the path that all the people you're watching and you're aspiring to be like, they follow this simple strategy that you can use as well. And you just evolve through these points. And some of you might even skip stages this, but if you actually want to follow the strategy exactly, this is how I do it. So next, let's talk about, what your sort of earnings are at each point, because you need to, in order to hit these, it's all right saying, what you need to do, but then you need to break down the financial goals of how to actually get there. So let's jump into that. So I hope you can read this graph behind me when I move out of the way, because my handwriting is quite bad. But here you can see what the sort of, pricing looks like at each level. So this is just sort of income, what you can expect at each level of the chart. So, at the beginning, you might be a generalist agency, you might just work with any client, and you can get this to about 100K a year before it comes, a real ball ache. So at this point, you're looking at around 100K. And then say, for example, you got really good at marketing, you got really good at generating leads or something, you could then become a niche agency, which, most people would argue you can just go straight to niche agency. And I would argue that is almost better in most cases, especially in this day and age, as there's, so much competition out there for generalist agencies. And trying to learn all different skills and all different industries is so much harder to get results with a client. And ultimately, you need to get good results with a client or you're going to lose that client. So, at this point, say we start with niche, you can get this to about 100K to 300K before it comes, almost unmanageable. It's not a very fun business to run. The only reason people really recommend agencies is because it requires very little capital to start up, if anything, and it's very good it's very beginner friendly. So, at this point, you might cap out around this mark. And then with one-to-one coaching, this is where you can then scale from the sort of 300K mark. Because say, for example, you're making 100K just from your services, you can now be charging people thousands of pounds on a call or, on a Zoom session or something like that to give this information to other people, because this is where you create leverage and you create value in other people's life because you've been able to do it successfully here. You then show people how to do it here. And, in a lot of cases, even if you're 10 or 20% ahead of your audience who you're trying to help, then this is still hugely valuable to them people, and people will pay just to get the next step ahead. So this is where you can scale to around 300 to 600K. And then, this is what you'll see a lot of guys doing on YouTube, like Sam Ovens and things like that. Well, Sam Ovens has now got rid of this, but they had a mastermind group, and these are absolutely amazing. This is where you can, grow your business exponentially, as you're going to be surrounded by other entrepreneurs like you that are even doing better than you in some cases, or in different industries and things like that. But with this, you can charge high memberships. You can charge, potentially, 40 grand a year in membership to be part of this, and you can really get to 600K to 1 million mark. And then, the holy grail at the end of it, to how to scale, to $1 million to 10 million plus, is online coaching. As I explained before, you've got infinite inventory of it. You make it once and it's, you can sell it forever. And don't get me wrong, this is the hardest to sell out of any of these because people are so skeptical of courses. They think they can just get information for free. People would rather go and, watch a million different YouTube videos telling them different things than to pay for a course. But I don't sell a course, but I would recommend the one thing that got me ahead in my business. And if it wasn't for that, buying a course, then, I don't know where I'd be, because the knowledge you learn in that, the condensed knowledge, and people have actually done it instead of just, getting parts of it. And, people only sell you little bits of it on YouTube and things like that. A course is what's going to get you to the next level. But I hope this has given you some clarity around what it looks like in terms of how to get there, because I wish someone would have shared this with me when I got started, because it would have just given me a clear path, and I felt like I would have known exactly what I need to do on a daily basis. So I hope you found some value in this video, and if you want some more videos like this, I'll be dropping them soon, and I'm back, baby.